The brain listens to every emotion we experience, not through sound, but through signals, chemicals, and electrical impulses that travel through its networks. Our mental health becomes the filter through which these signals pass. When that filter becomes strained, everything in life feels louder. Stress echoes deeper, sadness lingers longer, and even small worries feel like alarms going off inside our skull. The brain is not being dramatic. It is trying to protect us in the only way it knows how. Stress doesn't sit quietly in the mind. It rewires the brain. Each moment of stress sends chemical messengers through the neural pathways, reinforcing circuits that anticipate danger. Short bursts of stress can sharpen our focus and help us respond to challenges. But when stress becomes chronic, it changes the architecture of the brain itself. It strengthens pathways associated with fear and hypervigilance, while weakening those responsible for memory, calm thinking, and emotional regulation. The brain becomes excellent at surviving, but struggles to feel safe. Anxiety is the brain's smoke alarm. In its healthy state, it warns us when something is wrong. But when mental health is strained, this alarm becomes hypersensitive. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, begins to overreact. It interprets shadows as threats, silence as suspicion, the unknown as danger. Even when nothing is wrong, the alarm keeps sounding. The prefrontal cortex tries to reason with the fear, but anxiety's voice is louder. This isn't a personal flaw, it's biology stuck in overdrive. Depression affects the brain in an entirely different way. It dims the colors of life. It slows the rhythms of neural activity. It alters the brain's chemical balance so that joy feels distant, motivation becomes heavy, and even simple tasks require enormous effort. Depression is not a lack of willpower. It is the brain struggling to create energy and emotional balance. The world feels muted not because someone isn't trying, but because the brain isn't processing pleasure the way it used to. Trauma leaves the deepest imprint of all. It is the brain's way of remembering what hurt us so it can protect us from it happening again. But sometimes that memory becomes too sharp, too present, too overwhelming. The brain replays danger long after it's gone. It keeps the body braced, alert, and tense, as if the past is still happening now. Trauma trains the brain to survive at all costs, even when survival is no longer necessary. Healing, then, is the process of teaching the brain that the danger has passed. When mental health declines, the brain sometimes slows everything down because it is overloaded. Thoughts become heavier, decision-making takes more effort, concentration scatters, memories feel out of reach. This cognitive fog isn't laziness, it is the brain conserving energy, shifting into low power mode to protect itself. It is a sign of exhaustion, not failure. The way the brain stores emotional memories explains why certain feelings stay with us long after events have ended. Emotional memories are tucked deep into the nervous system, intertwined with sensations, sounds, and environments. The brain registers emotional pain the same way it registers physical wounds. That is why heartbreak, grief, and stress can hurt in the body. The brain perceives both kinds of pain as equally real. As mental health struggles accumulate, focus becomes harder. Thoughts drift like smoke. Concentration feels slippery. Tasks that once felt simple now feel like climbing a steep hill. It's not a matter of effort. It's the brain redirecting resources to emotional survival, leaving little bandwidth for anything else. But the most powerful truth is this: the brain can change. It can rewire. It can adapt. Healing is not just emotional, it is neurological. Every moment of calm, every supportive conversation, every coping skill practiced creates new neural pathways. The brain begins to learn safety again. It slowly unlearns fear. It gradually rewrites old responses. Change may feel slow, but it is happening at the cellular level. Self-kindness is one of the most effective neurological tools we have. Being gentle with oneself reduces stress hormones and increases chemicals that soothe the nervous system. Compassion towards ourselves reshapes the brain. It teaches us to respond to struggle with softness instead of shame. Kindness is not a luxury, it is medicine.
Rest is essential to this healing. Sleep repairs brain cells, balances hormones, stores memories, and restores emotional stability. Without rest, the brain cannot process problems or regulate feelings. Rest is not optional, it is treatment. A deep breath, a quiet moment, a pause in the chaos, all of these signal safety to the nervous system. They tell the brain, you can slow down now. Mental health becomes the foundation for everything the brain builds. Thoughts, memories, decisions, creativity, dreams. Everything rests on the stability of that foundation. When mental health cracks, the brain struggles to build anything steady. But with care, understanding, and healing, the foundation strengthens, neural pathways reorganize, emotional regulation improves, clarity returns, strength rebuilds. The brain is resilient, and the mind is adaptive. Mental health struggles do not signify defect, they signify overwhelm. They reflect a brain doing its best with what it has endured. And healing is always possible. Slowly, gently, consistently, the brain can learn to live again, not just survive. It can rediscover calm, reclaim joy, and rebuild hope. And in that healing, the brain does something extraordinary. It grows, it rewires, it becomes stronger in the broken places, and it learns a new way of being, a way rooted not in fear, but in resilience, balance, and